Americans at work. Hotel workers whose job it is to see that every guest feels like a king. To treat you royal 5,000 hotels. These people devote their lives to making you feel at home away from home. When treating the family or attending a convention banquet, the larger hotels have as many as 200 cooks in 6 kitchens anticipating your arrival. Even though he measures his brew by the gallon, the cook is concerned every serving tastes as though it were specially prepared for you. Soup's on at any hour. This is behind the scenes where soup making is a full-time job. Through the ages, the soup maker has perfected his art. Just ingredient. A scalding cauldron for each kind of soup you may pick bill of fare. Thin, clear, thick, with or vegetables, with or without meat. It must satisfy the cook before it satisfies you, and his sense of taste can never tire. Old-fashioned beef stew, cream of mushroom soup, or consommé with a fancy name after it. No one can buy the recipe, yet the broth itself is available to any diner with a yen for that certain flavor. The soup cook keeps his guarded secret and passes it on only to his successors. So that you may feel king in the dining room, tremendous plan, prodigious hard work must go on in the hotel kitchen. To make the meal seem effortless to you is the stock in trade of the hotel worker. You enter the world of the hotel to shed your household chores. In the dining room, you are an actor or actress. But this is backstage. There are any number of people working to enable you to put your best foot forward. Perhaps you take the of celery, the mixed olives, the tossed salad, and frying beans for granted. But would you also like to try the asparagus with the mysterious sauce, potatoes with the unpronounceable description, of broccoli, the carrots a la something? Your menu is an lamp, and here are the genies, adding every gastronomical whim. Long experience has taught them how many filet mignon and how many prime ribs of beef with Yorkshire pudding to prepare, how many roast ducklings, roast lamb to get ready. Also, who will ask for antelope and buffalo steaks? Victoria in New York will use 6,000 pounds of prime beef and 2,400 Cornish rock hens. Every specialty with its own cook. From the time the buyer makes his purchase until the time it reaches your table, meat must be handled with particular care, seasoned and cooked just so. While the cook has perfected his art, he knows that there will be as many different tastes to satisfy as there are people sitting down to dine. He feeds multitudes at every meal, yet he roasts, broils, and fries, rare, medium, or well done, as though catering to you alone. Each item of food has its special pounds of turtle. You will hardly recognize some of these denizens of the deep when they appear before you as filet of with a foreign name, supreme of sole, or perhaps the lowly codfish cake. It takes more than cooks to make a banquet. All behind the scenes, fresh linen is drawn from the hotel's own laundry. As activity reaches its climax, the stage being set for you by the waiters. Waiters make up the largest group of hotel workers. They are trained for personal service, but they are no longer servants. In old times, they would have bowed and scraped. Now they serve with dignity. as equal and respected members of society. When you come to table, they will do their best to keep you from noticing the work that goes into making your meal enjoyable. The master plan is the menu, checked by the hotel, who may direct the serving of as many as 12,000 rolls, 10,000 eggs, and 700 gallons of coffee in one day. Work in the dining room and kitchen is coordinated. As the banquet hall nears readiness for the guests, the chef adds final touches to their pièce de résistance. The sauces of rare herbs and wines are concocted by an ageless alchemy known only to these custodians of the culinary art. Proud as we may be of prowess in our own kitchens, we do not go to the hotel for home cooking, and these cooks do not disappoint us. They top their own efforts in the dessert department. Here, in truth, is created a world of delicious make-believe. Shells for 100 kinds of fillings, tartlets, cupcakes, layer cakes, berry pies, ice cream and ices. French pastries out of a fairy tale. This is delicate business, but each course of the regular meal or special celebration must be more appetizing than the one before. Cream is whipped in vats, would tax the ability of scores of small fry to lick clean. Step by step, a banquet is prepared. Layer by layer, a cake is made. Everything must be ready before the first guest arrives. The places are set as though each one were arranged for royalty, under the supervision of the captain. There's a plate and a piece of silver service for each tasty morsel to come from the kitchen. Never mind how many dishes will have to be washed. You don't have to think of such things just now. Work in the kitchen proceeds until the last minute. Everything must be fresh. Although you may never see the chef, it's not long between the time the food leaves his hands and reaches you. Let him eat cake is this man's motto. The true festive meal may begin or end with fruit. This too has its specialists. They quarter it, slice it, dice it, put compatible flavors together, combine the melon from Spain with the pineapple from the Azores or Hawaii and the apples from Washington, and arrange countless other combinations. It was at the Waldorf that the famous apple and nut salad that bears its name originated. In the poultry section, there are tricks of the trade that could be put to good use at home. The chef has an especially interesting way of arranging the meat so that white, dark, or other choice parts may be selected and served easily. He carves the whole turkey at once, something many of us have enough trouble with ordinarily. Then he fits the slices back together in the shape of the original bird. The bartender plays an all-important part in keeping things going. It is in this department that people are apt to be most particular. As many as 2.5 million highballs, 56,000 bottles of rye, 11,000 bottles of bonded bourbon, 42,000 bottles of wine, and 31,000 magnums of champagne may pass over the bar of a big hotel every year. The climax comes with a dessert that represents the highest art of the chef. He alone knows how it's made and exactly what's in it. But we are not so much concerned with analyzing it as enjoying it.
We'll read the financial report.
Much of the pleasure of going out to eat comes from not having to clean up after dinner. But in the hotel, someone has to do it. for others will demand the same services that we have just enjoyed. In the kitchen, there are mountains of dishes to be washed. The dishwasher is an indispensable member of the hotel crew. Without him, the work of all the cooks and chefs and waiters would go for nothing. This is the sort of thing that makes hotel work the largest housekeeping operation in the world. With the final cleaning up of the dining room, the stage is made ready for new actors or for your return. This is another of the housekeeping tasks we don't worry about when dining at the hotel. Organized hotel workers, dishwashers, cooks, chefs, waiters, waitresses, bartenders, busboys, and special attendants in a $15 billion business, one of the largest in the country. They work night and day in all cities and towns and on all routes of the nation to make life enjoyable for travelers in search of adventure or business or merely any change in the humdrum routine of living. 400,000 workers in the hotel business invite you to indulge your every desire, no matter how ordinary nor how seemingly far-fetched. 9 unions work and live together so that you can go out in style. These members of the Hotel and Restaurant Employees and Bartenders International Union are another branch of the great AFL-CIO family. Americans at work for you. Americans at Work, presented as a public service by the AFL-CIO. Next week, another interesting story of Americans at work. Americans whose skill and effort help keep our country great and strong.